Right now, as you hear these words, there is someone thinking about you with a depth he has never fully said out loud. Not casually, not for a passing moment, deeply. In the quiet, in the late hours, in the space between his daily routines, your presence keeps returning to him. And before you brush this off, before you tell yourself this cannot be about you, stay with me for a minute. Because what comes next may explain feelings you have carried for longer than you admit. You may have sensed this already, a look that stayed too long, a pause that felt too full, a silence that somehow spoke louder than words. And maybe you asked yourself if you imagined it. Maybe you tried to be logical, maybe you told yourself not to hope too much. But some truths do not arrive through logic. They arrive through a feeling that will not leave you alone. That is why you are here now, not by chance, not at random. You were pulled here because there is something your heart has been trying to understand, and today that picture begins to clear. There is a man whose feelings for you are real, strong, and far deeper than he has allowed himself to show. Yes, there is a complication. Yes, something has slowed this down. But do not click away yet, because the part people miss is this. The delay is not the death of the connection. It is the part of the story where everything hidden starts to rise to the surface, and once you see it clearly, you will never read the silence the same way again. You have felt the difference between this connection and every other ordinary interaction. Something about it carried weight. The energy changed when he was near. Even when nothing major happened, something in the room felt alive. There were moments when a simple conversation seemed to stretch beyond the words being spoken. There were glances that felt like they held a secret. There were times when being close to him stirred something in you that made no easy sense. And later, when the moment passed, your mind may have stepped in and said, maybe it meant nothing. Maybe I made it bigger than it was. But that inner feeling never fully went away, did it? That is because what you felt was real. This was never only in your imagination. Your spirit picked up on something your mind could not fully explain yet. He feels it too. In fact, he has felt it in ways that have unsettled him. He did not plan this. He did not expect you to matter this much. He did not wake up and choose to fall into something so intense. It happened slowly, quietly, naturally, and before he could make sense of it, you had already touched a part of him that had been asleep for a long time. That is why this feels so charged. That is why the connection has stayed with you. It is not shallow, it is not temporary, and if a certain face has been coming into your mind while you listen, trust that. If one person keeps returning to your thoughts, trust that too. Sometimes the heart recognizes what the mouth is still afraid to say. Keep listening, because the reason he holds back matters more than you think, and once you see it, the whole story changes. What stands in the way is not a lack of love. It is not a sign that the connection is wrong, and it is definitely not proof that you are unworthy of being chosen. The complication is fear, but not the simple kind people talk about every day. It is deeper than fear of commitment, deeper than fear of closeness. It comes from old pain that taught him to guard his heart like it was something that could not survive another blow. Somewhere in his past, he opened up and got hurt. Maybe he trusted and was let down. Maybe he gave more than he received. Maybe he believed someone valued him only to find out too late that they did not. Whatever happened, it left marks. Quiet ones, lasting ones. And because of that, he built walls. He told himself it was wisdom. He told himself it was protection. He told himself distance was safer than being broken again. Then you came into his world, and without forcing anything, without trying to break through, you reached him anyway. That is what shook him. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your energy touched the exact place he had worked so hard to lock away. Part of him feels pulled toward you with full force. Another part tells him to be careful, to slow down, to stay in control. So now he lives inside that tension. His heart moves one way, his fear pulls the other. And if you have ever wondered why his actions sometimes seem warm one moment and uncertain the next, this is why. It is not because he feels nothing, it is because he feels too much, and he does not yet know how to carry it without also feeling exposed. The important thing to understand is that complicated love is not always failed love. Sometimes the strongest connections arrive with resistance because both people are being prepared for something deeper than surface attraction. Your life has not been random either. The pain you have carried, the nights you felt unseen, the times you loved with sincerity and received confusion in return, all of it shaped you. It made you stronger, softer in the right ways, wiser where it mattered. You learned how to keep loving without losing your heart completely. You learned how to survive disappointment. You learned how to stand back up after giving too much to people who could not hold what you offered. None of that was wasted. It prepared you to recognize the difference between shallow attention and something real. That is why this connection matters. It carries a different weight because it reaches deeper than performance. But before the wall can fall, it has to be understood. That is why this moment matters. You're not hearing words meant only to comfort you for a few minutes. You're hearing something meant to shift your understanding. So tell yourself this now, quietly if you need to. I am ready to see the truth clearly, ready to stop calling everything confusion when some of it is simply unfinished, ready to trust what I have felt, because the fog has been thick, yes, but it is lifting. The doubt has been loud, yes, but it is losing power. And as that happens, you begin to see this for what it is, not a fantasy, not a random emotional pull, but a real bond moving through a difficult stage before it becomes visible in a stronger form. He has spent time trying to explain away what he feels. He told himself it was admiration. He called it friendship. He tried to make it smaller so it would feel safer. He looked for reasons. He used logic like a shield. But the heart does not become quiet just because the mind demands order. The truth kept returning. He loves you. Not in a weak way, not in a passing way, in a way that changed something in his inner world. That is what he has been dealing with in silence. And now we need to be honest about the next layer because it matters just as much. It is not only his past pain that slows him down, it is also his present life. He looks at where he is right now and tells himself he should be further ahead, more stable, more secure, more certain. He thinks he needs to arrive polished, prepared, and fully in control before he can step toward you in a serious way. He wants to feel strong enough to stand beside you without shame. He wants to feel like he has something solid to offer. This is not only about money or status. It goes deeper. It is about self-worth. He wants to feel like he deserves the kind of love you represent to him. So he waits. He hesitates. He tells himself later will be better. But that belief has cost both of you time, because love is not something people earn only after they become perfect. No one arrives at real love with every wound healed and every answer in place. That is not how life works. Real love often begins while two people are still growing, still learning, still becoming. And slowly, that truth is starting to work on him from the inside. He is beginning to see that waiting for perfect conditions can become another way of hiding. While all of this is happening in him, your role is not to chase, push, or carry the whole connection on your back. Read that again with your heart. You are not meant to force what is still trying to grow in its own time. You do not need to prove your value. You do not need to keep reminding someone of what you bring. You do not need to shrink into confusion just because he has not found full courage yet. What you are being asked to do is harder, but stronger. Stay grounded, stay true. Keep your peace. Keep your light. Let him feel the truth of your absence if he chooses distance. Let him face the space where your steady energy used to meet him so easily. Because sometimes clarity does not come when someone is always available. Sometimes it comes in the quiet after they pull back and realize what that quiet actually costs. And yes, waiting can hurt. Uncertainty can wear on the heart. You may want a date, a sign, a guarantee. You may want to know exactly when he will stop wrestling with himself and finally move. No one can hand you a perfect timeline. But this much is true. Movement has already begun. Something in him is softening. Something is shifting. Old defenses are not holding as firmly as they once did. The heart that kept saying not yet is being challenged by a deeper truth that keeps saying do not lose this. So, if things have felt still, do not mistake stillness for emptiness. Beneath the surface, change can be loud even when the outside looks quiet. Stay with this, because the next part matters. The silence you fear may be the very place where his courage is being built. And while he works through his side of this story, there is healing happening in you too. Maybe not all at once, maybe not in dramatic ways, but it is happening. There are old thoughts in you that still whisper dangerous things, that maybe lasting love is for other people, that maybe deep devotion always arrives late or leaves early, that maybe you will always be the one who understands more, gives more, waits more. Those thoughts are not truth. They are echoes. They are leftovers from pain that once had too much power. Your worth was never created by how others treated you. It does not rise because someone chooses you, and it does not fall because someone hesitates. Your value is part of your being. It is there right now as you are. Not after you become more attractive, more healed, more accomplished, more anything. Right now. And when he finally reaches the place where he can stand honestly in front of you, your presence will not be some small thing to him. It will feel like a gift. He will understand that being close to you is not something to take lightly. He will know that your patience had strength in it, not weakness. He will see that the love you carried was never cheap. This is why you must not let doubt make you abandon your own heart. Protect it, yes, but do not poison it with hopelessness. Something is forming here. And timing, even when frustrating, has its own purpose. Often a shift begins before the visible moment arrives. A conversation, a private realization, a restless night, a dream that says more than waking thoughts can say. However it happens, insight enters quietly first. Then behavior changes. Then the distance starts to close. That is how a hidden turn begins. When that turn begins, you will feel it before you fully understand it. His energy will change. The hesitation will not disappear all at once, but it will loosen. He will find reasons to reach out. He will create moments instead of avoiding them. He will stop circling his feelings and start moving toward them. And when that happens, try not to let fear talk you out of what you already know. Skepticism can feel smart after disappointment. It can feel protective. But sometimes it only protects us from the very hope that could heal us. Ask yourself this: what do you really lose by allowing yourself to believe that something good may still be unfolding? Hope is not foolish when it is rooted in peace. Trust is not weakness when it is joined with self-respect. You are not being asked to beg for love. You are being asked to leave room for it. There is a difference. There is also a future shape to this story, even if you cannot see every detail yet. What starts with meaning is not meant to be left unfinished forever. Delays can be part of preparation. Pauses can build strength. And every season of waiting can teach both hearts something they will need later. So if you have stayed with this message all the way here, maybe that says something too. Not everyone stays. Not everyone is ready to hear the deeper part. But you stayed. Maybe because something in you recognized the truth before the mind could label it. Maybe because your heart is tired of pretending not to know. Either way, keep listening. Because the love here is not ordinary, and what is not ordinary often asks us to hold steady a little longer before the full picture comes into view. There is another truth you need to hear clearly. He is not confused about how he feels for you. His confusion is about what to do with feelings this strong. That is a very different problem. Many times he has imagined saying something. Many times he has thought about stepping forward, only to pull himself back at the last moment. Not because he does not care, not because you do not matter, but because when a person sees real potential, they become more careful, not less. He does not see you as a passing option. He sees you as someone who could matter long-term, and that has made him serious inside even while he appears uncertain outside. He does not want to move too fast and damage something that could become beautiful. He does not want to speak from emotion one day and fail you the next. In his mind, love should come with readiness, with steadiness, with proof. But what he is slowly learning is this: there is always risk. There is no version of real love with zero exposure, zero fear, and zero chance of pain. Waiting until there is no risk is another way of never stepping in, and that is the door he has been standing outside of for too long. You, in many ways, are already on the other side of that door. You have stayed open even after disappointment. You have kept your heart alive after being let down. That takes courage, real courage. Now the next move is his. He has to decide if he will let fear keep guarding an empty room, or if he will finally walk toward the connection his heart already knows is rare. And if you have been asking whether he will find that courage, stay here, because the signs of that answer are closer than they appear. In this season, do not dim your light to make his struggle easier. Do not become smaller so someone else can feel larger. Do not hide your warmth, your wisdom, your softness, or your strength just because he has not yet learned how to receive all of it without feeling exposed. The right partner does not need you reduced. The right partner grows enough to meet you. So keep showing up in your own life. Keep laughing. Keep creating. Keep healing. Keep building the future that belongs to you, whether he arrives on time or a little late. This matters more than you know, because the energy of self-abandonment never helps love grow. It only creates imbalance. And chasing, that pulls you even further from peace. If someone is afraid, constant pursuit can give them more room to stay passive. But space, real space, has a strange power. It allows absence to speak. It lets value become visible. It gives a hesitant heart the chance to feel what is missing instead of relying on your steady presence without earning it. So step back with grace if needed, not out of anger, not as a game, but out of wisdom. Let him meet the silence. Let him sit with what your energy means when it is not always within reach. Meanwhile, continue your own becoming. This is not empty time. This is sacred time. Time to strengthen your confidence. Time to heal old patterns. Time to remember that your happiness is not hanging from another person's timing. And if prayer is part of your life, send quiet good into his path. Ask for healing where he is wounded. Ask for courage where he is frozen. Not because you must rescue him, but because love can bless from a distance without losing itself. When the complication begins to fade, the difference will be unmistakable. You will not be left guessing every small signal. His words will start to match his actions. His presence will feel steady, not hot and cold. He will not approach you with more excuses, more fog, more half steps. He will come with intention. There will be conversations that open like windows after a long closed season. Hours will pass like minutes, because real connection does not need effort to feel alive. You will begin to discover how much was silently building underneath all this time. The laughter will feel easy. The honesty will feel relieving. The future will stop feeling like a question mark and start feeling like something two people can actually touch. That does not mean everything becomes flawless overnight. No real relationship is free of challenge. But the foundation will be different because it will be built on patience, truth, and a deeper understanding of what it took for both of you to get there. The wall that once felt like the whole story will become only one chapter and not the final one. In time, even the pain of waiting can turn into proof that some things are worth walking toward carefully, and the love that was once hidden will have the power to encourage others, because real love often teaches by the way it survives what almost kept it apart. So if your heart has been tired, breathe. If your mind has been spinning, let it rest. You do not need to solve the entire future tonight. You only need to keep your spirit clear enough to recognize the shift when it arrives. And it will arrive, sometimes suddenly, sometimes gently. But when it comes, you will know it is different. Until then, understand this. Silence is not always the same as nothing. Some of the deepest changes happen out of sight. A seed grows underground long before anyone sees green above the soil. A heart can be changing in private while the outside still looks still and undecided. That may be what is happening now. You may feel the urge to reach out, to check, to test, to force movement just so you can stop wondering. But not every urge is wisdom. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is hold your peace and let life reveal what pressure cannot. By staying steady, you allow his own thoughts to get louder. You allow the missing space to teach him what constant closeness may have hidden. And often, that is where truth finally lands. Watch for the small shifts. A message that feels different. A tone that softens. A reason to be near you. A return that carries more openness than before. You may also begin noticing signs around you. Little moments that bring him to mind more often, as if life itself is whispering that the distance is changing shape. Do not build your whole world around signs, but do not ignore the feeling that something is moving either. There are times when a person begins to understand that the pain of vulnerability is smaller than the pain of losing what matters. That is the realization growing in him. He is starting to see that life without your light feels thinner, colder, less alive. And as those old walls begin to melt, he is being prepared not just to speak, but to speak honestly, to tell you why he stayed back, to tell you what he carried, to tell the truth without hiding behind fear. When that moment finally comes, it will not just be about romance. It will be about relief, about two hearts no longer trapped in confusion, about being seen without performing, about being chosen without force, about finally standing in a love that feels calm enough to rest in and strong enough to grow inside. This is the kind of connection that does not make you fight every day for proof. It brings peace where there was once tension. It gives clarity where there was once guessing. And if this story has reached something deep in you, then carry that truth forward gently. Not with desperation, not with fantasy, with grounded hope, with quiet strength, with the kind of faith that does not beg life for constant reassurance because it knows that what is real can survive a season of hidden growth. Keep your heart open, but keep your center too. Keep believing in love, but do not abandon yourself while you wait for it to arrive in full form. The breakthrough you have been asking for may already be closer than it looks. The man who has held back is not standing still forever. The fear is losing some of its grip. The wall is not made of stone. The delay is not the ending, and as this chapter turns, you may soon see that every painful pause, every unanswered moment, every strange silence was moving toward one clear point, a truth strong enough to finally be spoken, a bond honest enough to finally be lived, and a love deep enough to feel like it was worth every lesson it took to reach it.